Hi guys, today I wanted to just do a quick video and talk about what do minimalists spend their money on. So this is a question that I think a lot of people wonder about because one of the tenets of minimalism is decreasing the amount of things that come into your home as well as increasing the amount of things you get out of your home so that overall you have less things in your home. So if minimalists aren't spending their money on knickknacks and the latest, greatest this and that, what do you spend your money on? So today, we are going to find out. One of the things that minimalists spend their money on is saving their money. Wow, what a genius concept. America as a whole has a huge problem with saving. We have lots of credit card debt, and we are a very spending culture. Most of us don't have enough savings to even cover small emergencies. One of the things that minimalism will allow you to do is to be able to start saving or start investing in your retirement plan, your 401k, and those kinds of things that most Americans are behind on. So one of the minimalists I follow is Kate Flanders, and she runs a lovely blog. It used to be called Blonde on a Budget, now it's just Kate Flanders, but she came to minimalism through wanting to get out of debt and start saving and being very frugal, and that is something that will definitely lead a lot of people to minimalism. Or if you go to minimalist, you will find that your pocketbook is a little bit heavier because you're not spending as much of your money on stuff. So that is something great to spend your money on, is savings and retirement. Item number 2 that minimalists like to spend their money on are experiences. A lot of minimalists prefer to spend money on experiences rather than things. So when you spend your money on an experience, you get to do something really cool, and the only thing that you leave with is the memories, and memories don't take up space. People will travel or go out to eat and just fun things and do activities. Especially for gift giving, this is a great option to, instead of giving somebody a thing that they may use once or twice and then it'll collect dust on a shelf, you go out and do something together. You know, go to the zoo or an amusement park, or take the whole family on a weekend getaway, and those sort of immaterial things that you're getting are really so valuable, especially if you're doing it with somebody else and you're sharing that experience together. That is so awesome. So that's one of the reasons that minimalists like to spend their money on experiences rather than things. So one of the things that I have recently done is get one of these. This is my Disney pass holder pass, and those are our magic bands. Now, I don't think that anybody would naturally associate Disney World with minimalism, but over the past, year and a half, my husband and I have worked on the number 1, saving, paying off debts, and we have paid off all of our debt. We have no debt. Student loans are paid off. We never had any credit card debt. We paid off our car early, and we're currently renting, so we don't have a mortgage, and so we decided to reward ourselves with an experience of going to Disney World as often as we felt. So the third thing that minimalists like to spend their money on is higher quality items. So when you are involved in a lot of heavy consumerism and fast fashion, you buy a lot of things, but they're not of really great quality. When you start to realize that these things aren't making you happy and the clutter is making you miserable, and you start reducing the number of items that you have, your items are going to actually get used, and you're going to be able to notice the difference in quality so much faster. This is especially true, I think, for your wardrobe and the things that you wear, especially if you have a lot of cheaply made clothing, and you will find that they can kind of wear out pretty fast. So one of the things that you'll often find minimalists do is they will buy fewer items, but the items that they buy are going to be more expensive, of higher quality. You may be able to focus your money on purchasing, say, things that are made in the US or whatever country that you live in, supporting local businesses. You might be able to search and purchase sustainably, ethically sourced items, things that are healthier and better for the environment. And when you're purchasing less things, those more expensive things are more obtainable because you only are going to need a small number of them in your life. One of the things that I like to spend a little bit more money on is cosmetics. I like to buy the fun higher end cosmetics, and so this is the recent purchase. It's a makeup palette from Too Faced. I also enjoy spending a little bit more money on clothing. I can tell doing a project 333 by the end of the 3 months if something wasn't up to par. You can really tell, especially if you follow any of the fashion minimalists. You'll really see that they tend to purchase things that are of higher quality because they can afford to do so. The last thing that minimalists like to spend their money on is living smaller. So a lot of people, they wonder, what do you do with all of your money now that you're not spending it on stuff? Well, maybe you can afford to take a job where you have better hours, or that is more fun and rewarding, but has a much smaller paycheck because you don't have as many ends that you have to meet. A great example of this is the Minimalists. Joshua and Ryan, they both had the snazzy 6-figure jobs, large homes full of stuff, fancy electronics, nice cars, and they both found out kind of in different ways that it really wasn't making them happy. And so neither of them work the fancy 6-figure jobs anymore because they don't have to. They don't need that much money in their life. They're free to do the things that they are really passionate about. They actually just came out with a documentary. They relocated from Dayton, Ohio. I think they're in Montana now. Anyways, but their lives look a lot different from when they started their minimalist journey, and definitely from the outside you would think that the start of their journey, that was it. That was success. That should have brought them happiness. That was the American dream. But instead, their dream really looked quite different, living in a smaller area, in a smaller home, and just being able to do the things that they're really passionate about. So those are just a few of the more common things that you will see minimalists doing with the money that they're not spending on stuff.